Well, welcome back, folks, for another fun reloading video. Today we've just got some more projects, some brass prep, some bullet sizing to do, all the chores and all the fun stuff that everybody's always excited about. But don't worry, we've already got our 223 brass all prepped and ready to go. This is all federal I separated, so I've got probably 200 of those to play with and kind of have a working set to do some load development with and all that fun stuff. Same thing over here. These are our large pistol primer 38 special cases. So I have these all trimmed and ready to go now, so we can start playing with those. And then for playing with some bullets here, this is the Lee 356 124 truncated cone. I used some ruby red with a splash of the Ford blue and signal white, and it looks like, you know, the red really stuck as a base, and then kind of some of the white flakes stuck to the outside of that. So that's pretty cool. And then here was the second batch I tumbled with what was left, and you can see there was more white left in the can than red. So we had more white sticking because that's what was left. It's very interesting how the powder coating works when you mix different colors together. And you can see the variance we get between just two different batches of the same mix. So anyways, I'm trying to do about 20 pounds of these just so I can load up, you know, a good little pile and have them set aside for a rainy day or some range food or whatever. So I got about 12 pounds in here so far, but I have to go and cast some more. Boo-hoo. But that's still going to be a lot of work to size just that many. And then I'm going to do the same here. This is also 12 pounds. This is our Lee 358 158 flat nose. We just picked this mold up the other day. And this pretty cool mixture again with the ruby red and some of the signal white. Just one coating is all it took. Sometimes I'll do two, but it seemed like one worked pretty well. I'm getting my process dialed in pretty well as far as cook time and all that fun stuff. These were quenched. All these bullets here today were quenched after casting and after powder coating. So yeah, these are going to be for some 38 Special, 357 Magnum. I'll probably size a handful of them to 356 to do in the Legend. And maybe even do some stupid 9mm subsonics or something interesting like that. We'll have to see. And the bullet I've already been working on here today. So this is the modified 309-230. You can see we now have a plain base instead of a boat tail. Here's what those look like once they're sized down. We've got a little fin here of some powder coat coming off after the sizer. But I think we should be okay. We've got a nice flat base there. No more boat tail, so these should be able to stabilize much better than our traditional 309-230. And these colors came out really good. I think I just kind of threw all the colors into it, and the first coating was like sort of a grayish color. And then I put in about a spoonful more of the Ford blue into what was left of that. And then we came up with this final color here, which is pretty cool. It's kind of blue and black speckled looking with some white in there. Whatever, it's kind of fun to just mix them up and see what you get. So these modified bullets, they are pretty fat as cast. I think it's like 315 or 318 on some spots. So they take a little bit to get sized down, but I'm good with that because it's creating plenty of surface area for our bullet to actually contact our rifling and not suck so hard. But I don't have many of these left. I was already working on them before flipping on the camera here. But I thought I'd bring you guys along. Why not? Yeah, some of these do take quite a bit of effort to size through, but No big deal. Here we are on our Lee 358 158 round flat nose. And these are all just going to be 358 for now. Taking advice from some of you guys during the last video. You said, yeah, I just size everything to 358, and then if I need to go down, then I just, pull out 100 of those, and we'll size those for that project. But until then, these can be set aside and ready to go, and I don't have to have two different piles in storage of pretty much identical bullets, and I'm not using it at that current time. This color I ended up with actually reminds me of like that gross, like frosty raspberry or whatever. They come up with minty fruit flavors, and it's like that combination isn't really a thing. You guys just made it up. So this reminds me of like a frosty raspberry, which sounds gross and ew. But they look pretty sweet. Kind of a maroon tint with the white, the signal white coming through, but since it's pretty thin, the red comes out through the background, so that's pretty cool, right? I probably won't be able to duplicate it for another batch, but we got kind of close on the other 9mm bullets here. But I'll just knock these out. I'm down to this many here. I've already got 5 pounds done there, so I'll just knock these out real quick. We'll see you in a minute. And we're just on the last couple dozen here for the Lee 356 124 tumble lube design. My arm is getting tired, man, I tell you what, but I already got all those done here. And yeah, just this little bit to go in the lid. And whoopsie. My goal here is to do a couple actual proper load developments. Use the chronograph we've recently acquired to gather some actual data. And then load up about 1,000 or so to set aside for a rainy day, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to probably be trying about 5 different powders. Whew. Those two were stuck, but now they are not. So I'll be trying about 5 different powders, probably maybe a few more, I don't know. But I'll just use the load that I've already been using for this bullet with a couple of powders, and then I've already been, shooting a same weight bullet, just a different shape. So I'm gonna figure out what to do with that information and see if we have one load that sticks out among all the others. But my money is gonna be on my 4.9 grains of unique. My gun loves that load, and it actually shoots point of aim instead of being up at like 9 o'clock or hitting high or low. It's dead on at point of aim wherever I point it. That's where it goes. But I don't have any actual chronograph data for that load, so it could actually be all over the place, which may not mean anything if it actually shoots really well for me and my guns. But it'll be fun to test all that stuff coming up here. Few more. So we'll get a weight on all these and get a sort of an estimate on how many we have here. Because I don't want to count all those individually. I don't have the Uncle Jim counter hooked up. Okay, so since I record on my phone, I needed to use it for the calculator. Here's some chicken scratching math here. I had 6.75 pounds of the 309 230s. They were coming in at an average of 226 at 7,000 grains per pound times 6.75. That gave us 47,250 grains divided by our 226 grain bullet. That only gives us 209. But it'll be a good starting point to play with because I need to work up a good load that's actually subsonic rather than just throwing some powder in there and seeing what happens. But we also need to retest stability now that I've casted some of these of my own. And there we go. So we have 209 approximately of those to play around with. Yeah, buddy. So for our 358, 158 flat nose, we had 11.125 pounds. That gave us 77,875 grains divided by our 161 grain bullet. That only gives us 443 bullets here, which is not what I wanted. I still need another approximately looking like 13 or 14 more pounds of these. But lastly here, our 356 124 Tumbleube truncated cone, we had exactly 12 pounds. That gave us 84,000 grains divided by our 128 grain bullet. Approximately 656 that we did today. And over here we had 6 pounds 15 ounces, giving us 48,300 grains of more bullets on hand already. Approximately 377, giving us a total of 1033, which is yay, happy face. Yeah. However, I'm going to use 50 or 100 of these for some test loads and chronograph data. So I'm still going to have to cast some more here in the short term, but looks like we're getting close here. And so we need some more work on these. So anyways, that's just a quick sort of wrap up on the old stockpiling and brass prepping and getting everything ready just to reload it so I don't have to do one thing for one project and shuffle everything around and start over. So I want to have things on hand ready to go whenever I want them. So we got some federal brass there ready to go. We all have that all polished and ready. Here's our 38 special large pistol primers. We're going to have a whole series on those, and we're probably going to be using a bunch of these to play with. Then we have some 300 blackout stuff in the works as well, and we're going to be loading up a whole boatload of 9mm just to have on hand. So between this and this, I'm just over 1,000, but I'm going to need a couple more hundred for testing and all that other stuff. So anyways, that's my sort of update here for the recent short-term projects we have going on. So stay tuned for more. Let me know down below what kind of powders you want to see me testing with this sort of stuff. Make sure to go and check me out on Instagram. That is @DummyRoundOfficial. So thank you so much for watching, guys. We will see you in the next video. Have a good one.